Welcome to West Virginia in Commonplace. Today, I have a guest with me that is a returning guest. We have a special history between us, Amy J. Harris. So, to enlighten the audience, everyone knows that I record shows with people after they get in accord with me on the fly. I'm one of those people that I schedule stuff with certain people because I gotta figure out their mojo and stuff. And then some people I just catch them on the fly. We do an episode. Well, we did an episode previously, and because of technical difficulties, that's the one thing that hurts us in the East Coast. We have all this amazing internet that these fiber optic people have placed upon us. The show turned to a shit show. And we are back today to discuss a serious topic that does not get discussed very much because we have an entity called Meta. Meta is Facebook. I'm not going to call it Meta. I'm just going to call it Facebook for the argument of this show. Facebook has instituted certain rules and regulations to shadow ban us, to place us in certain places. A great example to start off with for me is for some strange reason on the device, it's an iPad, it's a tablet. I am not allowed for some reason to do live shows with Instagram, which I don't do very many live shows. I pre-record everything because everybody knows I'm very technical and coordinated with things. But they have taken my right away to do that. They've shadow banned me from lives for over 2 months for an incident that happened between me and a man in June, which was me coming to his platform and him being belligerent and me taking the high road. Next thing you know, some people got me, I don't know what they were going to call the new band. I'm going to call it Fire Band. And I just got my live privileges back last weekend. So Amy is here. Amy, please tell the audience who you are, because we are introducing you for a second time, even though the first time has never come into existence. So please tell them who you are, what you do in life, and how you carry yourself in life, and then we will get into your story.
Hey everyone. I love when Jared quotes me. He's my latest term out my mouth literally a minute ago was a shit show. Just describing our first podcast, and through no fault of his own, I had the wrong technology set up. Everything's better now, as you can see. And I am Amy J. Harris, 3-time published author, most notably of The Truthful Intuitive Guide to Life Everlasting, sold out on Amazon 3 months ago. I'm working on my current novel, The Ascended Master. On Instagram only, I'm getting rid of 3 other accounts, and JR is helping me do it. At least I want to, so that's what this podcast is about. But suffice it to say, I now have only one handle that I use. It is The Real Amy J. Harris. I'm doing that because somebody already took my title, Amy J. Harris, threw an underscore after it to steal my handle. So that's part of what I abhor about Instagram. It's not cool. I have been looked at for a blue check and I've rejected it. And here's why. I don't like that they allow, when you are a public figure, anybody to come along and do whatever they want with your handles. So I reported it and said, I'm not cool with this. I will not agree to a blue check until you, because they came looking for me for the blue check. I said, until you stop this practice of allowing people to take people's handles and twist them into things that they're not. And then I can't report them and say, that's not me, because you said, well, they haven't posted any content that's not okay. You're going to wait until they have a naked picture of me or something with cursing that they can splice together or whatever, right? So I said, I don't like it. I think you should get rid of it now. And they ignored me. I actually went to an outside board with this information. I reported them. I'm not afraid. And what the board came back and said, basically, we're not going to use this as an example for the entire world. Obviously, I'm not important. It's not an issue that affects anyone other than me. However, they said, we do appreciate the information and we will use it in a case study when we do find that thing that affects the entire world. And it will happen because with Ascended Masters, when they bring something to awareness, what happens immediately thereafter is an example will follow that's even greater, that affects the entire planet. So there will be something they're working on now. They will take my information and use it. As for Facebook/Instagram, I was telling JR, I cannot delete my Facebook account from 7 years ago. Ridiculous. Why? I deactivated it after an unconscious bipolar cousin came on and did some crazy stuff. And they wouldn't let me delete it right away. Back then, they didn't let you delete things right away. I don't know what's going on now. But because I deactivated it, it is a circle fuck of, well, we send something to your email, we send something to your phone, and it's not because it's deactivated and they lie. They're lying liars. So I can't get into my own account, which now there's an option you can delete. Back then it was so fucking shady. You couldn't even delete your account. You could only deactivate it. So now I'm stuck in the deactivation zone. And I'm not cool with that. So Facebook will never see me again. And Instagram is the best of all the ones I've used. I hated Twitter as well. Somebody already took my handle there. I don't care, whatever. Please take social networking with a grain of salt for the following reason. And JR and I were just talking about this before the podcast, right, JR?
Yes.
It gets you nowhere in life. It's virtual reality, people. It is not reality. Don't get it twisted. We can all have fun on here. We can have like a pseudo, meta universe experience just to make fun. And we can play, but in no way, shape, or form has this done anything for my career that I haven't already done for myself. I'm thrilled to have made some good connections here, like JR, like frankly Francisco through JR. And there are friends that I will, while I'm on the book tour for the Ascended Master, definitely hook up with. Everybody's going to come see me around the world. That's what it's good for. It is called social networking. It is not called business networking. That's something called LinkedIn. If you want a serious thing to occur with your business, go on LinkedIn. I may do that one day, but I was sexually harassed so badly 7 years ago while on LinkedIn that I probably won't even do that. I'll just keep plugging away at the grassroots level. Tiger went around the world just by my own hand and sold out. So I'm good. Everyone, take it with a grain of salt. Social networking, have fun, stay safe. But if you want serious business practices, it ain't here. It is in reality through probably via your connections online, because, and we were talking about this earlier too. Everyone wakes at different times, sleeps at different times, works at different times. It is a worldwide phenomenon where, as I say, the fourth dimension is at play, where time and space goes away. And you can chat at all times of the day and places of the world. It's wonderful for that. It's social.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Now I'm going to take you guys back real quick. Born in 1985, so that puts me right around 37 years old. So had the Commodore 64, worked my way up to an Apple II, Apple III. 1990 to 1995, it was CompuServe. There was Netscape. There were all these other things that put me on the internet, dial-up internet. But there were certain etiquette, certain things that were set in place by the providers of what we were using, like Netscape, even using the old chat rooms that everybody used to talk to. Yeah, there were bad places you could go, but you knew how to get there or you didn't know how to get there. And now in this day and age and social media, there's no way to cap that. But what I want to talk about here, and we'll go deeper with Amy on this, is this simple thing. I am no tech guru at all. I'm just a guy that pays attention to what I sign up for and when I sign up for things and how the social medias work for me in the instance of how I set them up, do my profile, and how I get my information off of these social medias. In my findings with Instagram, and we're talking from a personal account and a business account level, the personal account level, it's a 90-day wait to get rid of your account. On the business level and on certain personal accounts that have higher numbers, if you have more than 1,000 followers, if you're under 1,000 followers, I am not talking to you right now, and I'm not saying that in a mean way, but I'm just saying if you have under
I mean,
1,000
you're
followers,
talking to me, and I am under 1,000 followers, but I'm special.
right? But it's high communication. At certain parts of the algorithm that we break, like if you have 500 people, I'll guarantee you've had more than 1,000 conversations with different people inside your DMs. So it's certain things in algorithm that break it up, but there is no true way to get out of your account on Instagram unless it's done over a 90-day period. And in doing so, the mechanism to get out of your account has not been updated. It has been still set at the old Instagram level of using the mobile site. And we both seen this. I showed it to you on a screen. I pulled it up on a desktop on a MacBook Air, whatever. It was a laptop. I pulled it up and it is not even the new Instagram. So to actually delete your account, you have to use Instagram's old page. So my problem with that was I wrote to Instagram a day and a half ago, and I haven't got a response back, which hopefully I will. It's odd that they update everything else, and there's all kinds of terms, conditions, and everything else that the more privacy we give up to these people, and there's no simple way just to get rid of your account. And even at the 90-day point, it's a review process. You actually have to send. That's what really bothered me. If I want to delete something, I want to go away. You can delete, like I said, you can delete it and it'll eventually go away, but to actually send something to someone to review for me to delete, you're telling me that there could be a chance that my account doesn't get deleted?
Right.
That was the harsh reality. So, Amy, the next thing I want to tie into is, like, you're influential. You have with what you offer in life, you talk to a vast amount of people across your accounts. Facebook took the initiative and made Account Center, a place where all your accounts can go in one area and everything is settled there, but it doesn't give you a deletion feature inside of Account Center. And as me and you investigated a little bit, the further we got into this terms and conditions, and even your likeness on Instagram on my part of doing a little bit more research, like a lot of that stuff, like any branding that they want to do with your picture outside of what you think that you allow, Instagram has a hold on that stuff unless you physically delete it off there and take care of that measure. So you would never know what kind of money Mark Zuckerberg and all these people are actually making off of your image and off of the content you're creating, such as these Instagram reels that people put out so much. I am one to say this: they are amazing because it's an untapped algorithm right now. That and TikTok, because those two things generate people to whatever you're sending them to. Instagram does not do that. It does. If you look at what I have on Instagram, the only reason you're catching is because I put a catchy hashtag in there. It doesn't actually generate people. So my question to you, Amy, is this: how did you feel after we went through and did all this research and we found out that there's not just an easy, I can delete my Instagram account and not send it to someone for review?
So, you can set up your account in an instant, and we're going through all of this to get rid of accounts. I think anybody can understand how I feel without being a psychic empath. I will leave that to the side since everyone is having their own frustrations, and say this is what I channeled with what you just said. It's more nefarious than what they're using our information for free. What is in fact going on is we're sort of in a social networking maze, and we're the mice. Ooh, I've got Archangel Michael in my ear right now. Okay. He's like, tell him, girl. So we're the mice in the maze. There's little pieces of cheese everywhere. If you haven't noticed, you'll be on your social networking, especially if you're like me and JR, where you have multiple accounts. You're there, and suddenly at the top comes something, and you're like typing, but suddenly you're somewhere else because it's thrown itself where you are. So you go from one account to the other accidentally, or you just see something that's so interesting and so time, non-fourth dimension, but 3D time necessary, that you jump over without even consciously being aware you've done it. You're just like, let me go see that. So we're all these little mice, right? So now I like the smell of that piece of cheese over there better. So off I go. So we are these little mice in the meta universe maze. And if you don't see yourself as that, wake up, sheeple, because you are. They are tracking our activities. They are watching everyone. If push comes to shove, I mean, JR's experience where they're shadowing him. I've had such experiences as well where I see people looking at my account. Ooh, here's a hack, Ascended Master hack. Ready? When you are caught up in your Instagram and it's spinning and spinning and you can't do stuff, break your link. You go into your phone settings and you force stop, and all kinds of things will come up saying, oh, if you force stop, you will blah, 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 blah with your phone and try to terrify you. Healing. Force stop breaks the spinning. You clear your cache. And I'm not technical at all. This is like trial and error, right? So one time I did the whole data delete. Don't do that unless you want to spend like an hour linking your accounts again. Don't data delete. Although it's fine, I've done that too. And all the things they threaten you about on Android are not true. Those don't happen, but you will have to relink your accounts. It's a little bit of a big deal, but you can clear your cache like you sneeze in life. You can definitely force stop any app, and it's like a cough. It's no big deal. So when I do those things, I go back to Instagram and it's clean, squeaky clean. All the nonsense is gone. I've now cut out Joe Schmo from the Alamo with the, without the profile photo staring at my account over in Meta Universe. And I'm like, F you, you're gone. So they can't look at anything anymore because I force stopped it. And eventually they just give up because I'm very tenacious. So I'll do it 8,000 times until they're out of my account. They just give up because now they're frustrated and annoyed and they're just going to go do other stuff. So that's my hack. You're welcome. And then they leave me alone. But at the same time, like JR is saying, you do have to at some point deal with it and go back and forth annoyingly and say, here's what's going on. Here's what I would like to see in terms of how you resolve it, even though they don't really give a crap what we think. But yeah, we're all mice in a maze. Be aware of that. Be aware of the things you can do to hack through their nonsense and their firewalls and all of that. You're free. This is your life. Okay. So yeah, to some extent you're not because you're on somebody's platform, but they purport to go about their business as if there's free speech, and there isn't.
Now, one thing that I do want to add in here, that advice that she gave you was for Android users. Android users definitely follow all that. And I'll give you a quick iPhone tip because I'm the Apple guy. Over on Apple, it is always suggested that once your app gets to a certain level, completely uninstall and delete the app completely and then bring it back on. We do that for storage sake. There's certain aesthetics over at Apple that we use, but that's just something that you Apple users, you all should know that anyway. Definitely, that Instagram shouldn't sit on your. If you start your, if you delete it in January, July, take it off, go back to January again, and take it off, and you should be good to go there. So in tying this all around, the real quick thing that we wanted to do with this episode here was put it on awareness to this real simple deal that your information, your actual ending of social media, if you're trying to get rid of it, it's going to be a harder task than what you set yourself up for. And one quick thing that I forgot to add in here is in life and death, also inside of not podcasting, inside of social media. Everybody knows the well-known incident with me, and I've never shed light on the social media aspect of that. Michelle's passing was on a Monday, and then 2 days later, Facebook announced to me that I was the legacy content holder of her stuff. And not worried about my feelings or anything like that. At first, I was kind of upset over it, but I understood why it was. But that's kind of eerie that you die and they scan obituaries to find you, or they have a system set up to know when you die. And that just right there kind of boggled me and bothered me for a bit because I'm like, what if at some point, and I hope it's not set up now, but what if they would have known? I mean, they wouldn't know when we were born because we're from generations past, but this next generation that's in front of us right now, the babies that are being born now, what if Facebook's able to, or Meta, as they're called, have a database on who's born, you know, right now. What type of creation, what type of styling of social media are they going to provide for
I
these
mean, they
children?
do, JR, though. I gotta jump in. They do. Guess how they know? Well, Mouse A over there in the maze says birth announcement and then post something about their baby being born. So
And
if they
that's
want to compile a database with any information, fill in the blank, they already have it.
because our world just puts it out there.
Well, and you've given them permission by having an account.
True. So yeah, we all do this to ourselves in some nature.
Yep.
So, audience, basically the summary of this episode is real simple. We just wanted to tell you a little bit about the ins and outs of Instagram, Facebook, Meta, as you want to call it, and how they limit and how they control, in a strong controlling interest, what happens to you on social media. And going back around to the generalized idea is that social media should not be your marketplace. That's one thing I want to tie in there, and that's to any content creator. Doesn't matter. I'm not talking about just podcasters or anybody that's selling an art or performing arts or anything of any nature. And I want to thank Amy for coming on for this one. This was a very quick, quaint episode, but it was a point that we did need to get across. And Amy, please do something that everyone does on the show. They do a shameless plug. The shameless plug is something that has been the very first show it started, before I did West Virginia Commonplace. So please plug where everyone can meet and greet you, and they can learn more about the Ascended.
Okay, so in the beginning of the episode, I think I did all of that, but I will give you my Gmail address. It's the acronym of my book, TIGLE, TIGLE. That stands for Truthful Intuitive Guide to Life Everlasting. TIGLE, Amy J. Harris, normal spelling, AMYJHARRIS @gmail.com. Also, I have a website, theascendedmaster.com. Singular. I'm just one person. Theascendedmaster.com is my novel website. I am going to only be doing podcasts most likely until I'm done writing my novel, which needs to be by the end of October. So if anybody wants to podcast me, you better get in while you can. After that, I will be famous and I will be traveling the world, and that will be that. There will be no more podcasting. Yay! So there's my shameless plug, and it was very shameless, but fun. It's Leo season. Thank you for that.
All right, and I am JR from West Virginia Commonplace. Thank you so much for being on the show, Amy.
Thank you.